one. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Hello. I miss all of you guys. I really do. I miss being live. And the reason why I haven't been on for the last 2 weeks, because YouTube had gave me another community strike. Yes. And this time, it wasn't my fault at all. And I promise you, it wasn't my fault. And it was just very hard, to get this strike due to the fact that I didn't do anything wrong. I just posted a video 3 months ago, and I'm just going to just tell you briefly of it, but I'm going to talk more about it this week. I posted a video 3 months ago, and according to YouTube, they consider it as a hate speech. And I'm thinking, there's no such thing as hate speech. And this is what they send me. Okay, this was on January 11 of this year, and I posted a video of Ted Strike tried to tell us back in 1987, and what Ted Pike spoke about, basically, about Israel. That is it. He was not just spewing hate or saying attack Jewish people, attack anybody in that particular manner. He was just criticizing of Israel government, the Israeli government. That is all. And that's what I got a strike about. And that's just not cool. And I was very upset about it. But, it's everything happens for a reason. I'm blessed to the fact that, I got a lot of stuff done for that last 2 weeks that I was strike. I was gearing up to do more of my video contents and, be better at it and just, be good at, doing videos for you guys. At the same token, I miss everyone. I miss being on live. I miss talking to people. I miss getting feedback. So it was hard for me for the last 2 weeks not to post, not to talk about current events that's been happening. But I'm going to talk more about the community's guideline strike that I received from YouTube. And I have to say, they have to do a better job dissimulating what's a hate speech and what's not. And at the end of the day, there's no such thing as hate speech. There's free speech, even though after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, they put it on Google search of hate speech. And hate speech in their definition is, which I'm going to read to you briefly before I start the segment, hate speech is generally defined as any form of expression that verifies, humiliates, or incites hate against a person or a group based on characteristics like race, religion, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, disability, or a natural origin. Now, the last time I checked, Israel is a foreign country. Okay, I believe, as a U.S. citizen, I believe that I can criticize and critique the Israel government, what they're doing, government, not people. And because my tax-paying dollars is going to them, and they should be answering to us, not the other way around. And it seemed like when anyone criticized Israel, it's a bad thing. They consider it as hate speech. And I hate to break it to YouTube, the AI system in YouTube, that is not hate speech. I'm sorry to disappoint. That is not hate speech. There's no such thing as hate speech. There's free speech, okay? I can hate a lot of things in our government right now, today, but it doesn't incite that I want to harm American citizens. It doesn't incite that I want to do harm of other people because I don't like the government in our United States. I don't like the fact that the FBI, the CIA is not condemning pedophiles, not arresting pedophiles that's involved in Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking ring for the last decades. You know what I mean? I criticize what they're doing. They're not doing anything to prevent that or arrest people. And I believe as a United States citizen, I have that right to criticize my government and a foreign government. Government, not people, because in this definition, it says against people or group. And last time I checked, Israel was a foreign country. Okay. But anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about that. But I'm going to talk about it more this week. So I don't want to keep ramping on because I'm just so excited to be live with you guys. So let's get right to it. Now, on Candace Owens' show on Thursday, she revealed some bombshell of a text message that Charlie Kirk received before he was murdered. Okay. And text messages that Erica Kirk and Andrew Colvett was aware of. And obviously, we still are waiting for the response, what Candace Owens has revealed to everyone. And I'm going to let you listen to Candace Owens' text messages that this donor, Christian Zionist donor, that text message Charlie and basically threatened him and try to tell Charlie, you need to be put on place or something like that because you invited Tucker Carlson and Charlie Kirk wanted to invite Candace Owens, and then this particular donor, this Christian Zionist donor, saying, "How dare you?" And I'm just paraphrasing here because Candace Owens is going to read you the text message this donor sent to Charlie. But basically, in a nutshell, how dare you invite Tucker Carlson? How dare you invite Candace Owens because they're anti-Semitic and they hate Jewish people? And, you need to get in line. You need to read your Bible, your scriptures, because what you're doing is just not really Christ-like. But take a listen to what Candace Owens had to say, reading that text messages to her audience. And was this a threat? To me, by reading that text messages, it was like, it sounds like a mafia threat to me, what this donor texts Charlie. But take a listen to what Candace Owens had to say.
That on September 9th, amongst a smaller pool of TPUSA employees, Charlie sent a text saying, day before he died, that he wanted to invite me to AmFest. I'm going to now read you an unhinged text message that Charlie received, this time from a female Christian donor, Zionist, of course. Erica Kirk can confirm it's real that Charlie Kirk received this. Let's read this, okay? All of the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including me, why would you platform anti-Semites like Candace and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threatened Jews and Christians with your 30 million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie. You are in violation of the 9th commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie? I'm coming to you as a believer. Genesis 12:3. Obadiah and many more prophets warned that those who curse Israel will be cursed. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster. Michelle Bachmann was booed, and about 10% walked out on her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the hand of the Almighty, but he is going to lift his hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that he
And you can
will
see,
wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by
just
while
pause
their
this right
brothers.
here. Now, obviously, this is a tactic to scare Charlie, to bully Charlie, using the Bible, using the scripture. And the way this person texts Charlie, spelling God, capital G-D. Who does that? That's not how you spell God. The last time I checked, is capital G-O-D, not capital G-D, okay? That's just odd and weird to me. And this donor was like telling Charlie, that's not what this is what the scripture says. If you don't stay in line with the scriptures, I don't know, things are not going to be looking good for you. You know what I mean? And to me, that's a threat. I'm sorry to say, that is a threat. That sounds like a mafia threat, that you would threaten someone and use religion to put that person in line. because they invited Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson was just speaking about Jeffrey Epstein, how Jeffrey Epstein made millions and we don't know where that millions come from, how Jeffrey Epstein allegedly was a spy for the Israeli government. Like, I don't understand. What did Tucker Carlson say wrong? What did he do? Absolutely nothing. It's like I'm going to keep repeating saying, it's like if you say anything bad about Israel or criticize the Israeli government, that makes you a bad person. And you can't touch it. You can't go near it. You can't say anything about Israel. But it's okay for us to talk about any other foreign country, but Israel is off limits. It's off limits. And I'm sorry, that's just wrong. And that's just stupid. Okay, that we can't criticize a foreign country, that our tax-paying dollars is going to them. That makes no sense to me. And it shouldn't make sense to you guys. I think we have every right as an American citizen to criticize any foreign country, whether it's Israel, New Mexico, New Zealand, whatever. We should criticize any foreign country and not be banned or be called names or get our channel striked or whatever because we're criticizing Israel. Again, what is happening in this world? Okay, you have this unhinged person who's sending these text messages, okay, this Christian Zionist, and this person called themselves Christian. This is not Christ-like at all, to attack another brother in Christ. And then you spilling Bible verses to condemn what he was doing, basically just inviting Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work God was going to do through you. But it's in a Bible verse, so he should be like chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He did feel threatened by that. That feels like you're pretending to be a Christian, but you have specific marching orders, and you don't think there's a single reason why Charlie could reasonably critique what Israel is doing after what's been done in Gaza. They've effectively have turned Gaza into a parking lot.
She ain't lying about that. It's a parking lot right now, but don't you worry. They're going to make it as a resort. As a resort. Instead of building that parking lot and rebuilding that people from the Palestinian people that they lost their homes, you would think that they would build their homes, but instead they're using it as a resort. And you trying to tell me that's what they're doing is not genocide? But hey, what do I know? They're doing great things, Israel. Just remember that. They're doing wonderful things, great things, big things.
And this is how you come at him over Tucker's speech?
Yeah. What Tucker Carlson said was nothing wrong whatsoever. Excuse me, nothing wrong. Okay. He was asking questions about Jeffrey Epstein, questions about how Jeffrey Epstein allegedly a spy from Mossad. And these are legitimate questions. But the thing is, the donors, they don't like that. They don't like for Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens to ask the obvious questions that we all are thinking about, that something didn't seem right at all. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to be implicated of the corruption and stuff that's been happening, especially in Turning Point USA, because they want your money. That's all it is about at the end of the day. They want your money. They want your money. But listen, you guys, this internet sleuths, they are incredible because they cracked down and they found out who was the donor that was threatening Charlie Kirk. Okay, these internet sleuths are unbelievable. Okay, they're on fire because once they get information, they got the information. Okay, so according to the internet sleuths, the donor that was threatening Charlie, her name is Laurie Cardoza Moore. Okay, she's the one that's basically threatening, who threatened Charlie Kirk, send those messages, and this is one of her tweets that she sent. This was July 14th of 2020, and it says, one who will not deceive is a trustworthy witnesses, but spouter of deception and false witness. Proverbs 14:5. Consider this verse when you stand as a witness to those who mislead or intentionally bear false witnesses. It is a violation of the 9th commandment. Now, the reason why I pulled this up to you guys, because you're going to listen to a video of Lauren posted on TikTok. The exact thing that she said on this video, it basically matched this tweet that she posted, and also what she texted Charlie Kirk as well. And then it continued to say that a deeper relationship with the God of Israel. Now look at the highlighted part, okay? When Candace Owens read the text messages, it said, it says, it looks like this, G-D, okay? So that clearly indicates this is the same person, this Christian Zionist who calls herself Christian Zionist when she's not Christian at all, for threatening another Christian to tell another Christian that you need to be put on your place and do what I say because I'm the donor. Because I'm the donor, I'm the one that's giving money, so you got to do what I say, okay? Because I'm donating you a lot of money. I'm giving you a lot of money, so you have to do what I say. This is the mafia style that they did with Charlie Kirk, threatening him, saying that if you don't fall in line with what I say, I'm just going to pull the money out, and I'm just going to make you feel bad because what the Bible is saying, you're not following what's in line with the Bible, because that's not the Israel way, which is so ludicrous, okay? How the Christian Zionists twist the Bible, twist the verses, and try to convince you what the Bible is saying is actually true when it's absolutely not true at all. And that's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And thank God, Charlie Kirk, he was onto them, that he didn't even fall for what this woman was saying to Charlie Kirk. And it just proved that this is the woman that was giving Charlie a hard time. Okay, let's read Candace Owens' tweet, what she had to say. The last month of Charlie's life consists of Zionist routine, pressuring and threatening Charlie for his shifting views of Israel, where it's not for me that the general public, those who very same Zionists would have successfully staged a hostage takeover of his legacy. It sounds disturbed that for the right price, Turning Point was seemingly willing to burn all of his and instead welcome that very same people who tormented him at the end of his platform. I should not have been the one to tell people about Hampton Summit, which she shouldn't. And she's referring to Josh Hammer, because she mentioned that, but that was not her place to mention that. The people from Turning Point shouldn't mention that. She continues to say, I should not have been the one who tell you about Josh Hammer, when Josh Hammer was basically kind of threatening Charlie Kirk, giving him demands, basically giving him an ultimatum. And Candace is right. That's not her place to say that. They should have said that. She continues to say, I should not have been the one to tell you about the donor or Bob Shillman, or the fact that Charlie texted multiple people the night before explicitly stating they are going to kill me, which a lot of people of them denied. But when Candace Owens noticed that they were lying, she said, no, you guys are lying. You guys are not telling the truth. Why are you hiding something so small? And why are you lying something so small when this actual event really happened when Charlie Kirk was alive? So then she said, no, I'm going to tell the truth because these people are lying. But I am the one. And I made it to this all while sustaining consistency attacked from the very people who support to carry on his legacy. Then it continues to say, I think it got chopped off. Let me continue reading the rest. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't know I was going to be chopped off like that. So let me pull it up. I should make this screen a little bit bigger. But anyway, it continues to say that the entire world sees each and every one of you for what you are. You can kill a man, but you cannot kill the truth. That's it. You hear me? You can kill the man. I like that phrase. Let me read it again. Let me read it again. Okay? I'm scaring my dog because I'm being loud. I'm sorry. You can kill a man, but you cannot kill the truth. You cannot kill the truth. Okay? I just like the fact that she said that. You cannot kill the truth. You can kill the man, but you cannot kill the truth. I like that. That's it. And she is absolutely right. You can't. You cannot stop what God is doing. You cannot stop what's to come. It doesn't matter what you try to do by threatening Candace Owens, by shutting people's YouTube channel, by sending a cease and desist letter, all this threatening things to shut people up. You cannot stop what God is doing. I keep saying that. You cannot. And that's what they're doing. That's what Turning Point USA is trying to do, guys. They're trying to stop everyone who even talk about this case, who even mention their finances, whoever mentioned every little dirty angle that Turning Point is doing, because they want your money. That's what it is. They want your money. Okay? Everything is crumbling. Everything is coming to pieces, and everything is making sense too. Okay? And they are afraid that a lot of things are going to be exposed this year, 2026, you guys. And that's why they're doing everything. Attacking Candace Owens, using influencers, using bots or whatever, saying that she's crazy, she's a lunatic, she doesn't know what she's saying. Even though half the things that she's saying is absolutely correct and true, and it makes sense. So even though she is telling the truth, they're going to try to destroy her credibility. And I don't know why they keep doing that, because it's not working. It's not working, okay? And it's just crazy to me that they're more afraid of her telling the truth, and then opposed to keeping everything hidden and being secretive and not knowing who really killed Charlie Kirk. They'd rather have an innocent man who's in jail right now, Tyler Robinson, to take the fall and have him be killed by lethal injection. They'd rather have this guy take the fall of the real person who really killed Charlie Kirk. Isn't that something? That's crazy. That's wild to me. But like Candace Owens said in her tweet, you can kill the man, but you cannot kill the truth. And they cannot kill the truth. Doesn't matter what you try to say, or that you cannot. And I have to say, these are demons. These people that they're trying to do whatever they can to stop for the truth to come out, they're demons. And like I said, we are fighting a spiritual warfare. We are. Because they don't want the truth to come out. Because once the truth come out, people are going to realize that the money is going to stop funding. There's no one's not going to donate anymore, because everyone's going to see the truth of Turning Point USA. But take a listen to Laurie, of the comment that she made about of Charlie Kirk. She didn't mention Charlie Kirk, but just listen to her own words, what she's saying, and then match the text messages that she texted Charlie. So take a listen to Laurie, what she had to say on her TikTok video.
Me, because I called him out and said he was violating the 9th commandment, and you all know the 9th commandment, it's bearing false witness against your brother. Whether it comes out of Charlie's mouth or whether he allows another mouth.
Let's stop again, because I just want to show you this one. Show you this again. Let me just make this bigger for you guys. Okay, here we go.
He basically threatened me because I called him out and said he was violating the 9th commandment, and you all know the 9th commandment.
And she said that text messages that what I read to you and what Candace Owens read, 9th commandment. So we all know this is her. This is the one that sent Charlie Kirk the text messages.
It's bearing false witness against your brother. Whether it comes out of Charlie's mouth or whether he allows another mouth, he gives a platform to another mouth or two who state lies and disinformation, that he is collaborating with the enemy. He is just as...
No, they're telling the truth and they're asking questions, and you don't like it. Okay? When it comes to Israel, you don't like what people are questioning of the Israeli government and Israel government, and you don't like that. You don't like that. And that's why they're so petrified and scared. And the easy thing to say to people, or you are racist, or you're attacking people, you're attacking Jewish people, when no one, we're not attacking anyone. And they know it too. These are the games that they're playing. You know what I mean? They're not attacking Jewish people. We're attacking and criticizing the Israel government, okay, what they're doing, okay? But, sorry that I have an opinion or thoughts that I don't like children being bombed and killed in Gaza. Sorry that I'm seeing that the Palestinian children and women are being bombed left and right. Hospitals are being bombed. Churches are being bombed. I'm sorry about that. You know what I mean? That I have a heart and I don't like seeing what was happening in October 7th. So forgive me. Forgive everyone for having a heart and speaking out that is wrong what was happening in Gaza. Sorry, but that's considered wrong to say that. I consider as a hate speech to have empathy, to have some type of compassion for children, for women. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I have no idea. Like, this is insane. This is insane that these unhinged Christian Zionists actually think of this, believe this, what they're saying. And to me, that's dangerous. And to me, they're unhinged, in my opinion.
Guilty. And God warns us in the book of Obadiah, in the last days, he's going to wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brother Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and they did nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie can't sit there, neither can Tucker or Candace or Megan, and say, oh, free speech. No.
Yes, it is free speech. Yes. And Laurie, I'm just going to read to you what free speech means, okay? Freedom of speech is the right to express opinion, ideas, and beliefs without government censorship, retaliation, or legal punishment, protecting spoken words, writing, symbolizing acts like protest or dress through its not absolute, and has limits for things like threats, defamation, and incitement, as protected by the U.S. First Amendment and international law. Okay, so we do have a right of free speech, and it actually says it. So maybe you should look it up in Google, because we have a right to have free speech. We have a right to express our opinion and ideas and criticize a foreign country, a foreign government. Okay. So she is wrong, and she seems very unhinged, in my opinion.
Allow them to get away with it, then you're going to be held accountable too.
No, you're going to be held accountable because you are twisting the Bible, which is wrong. You're using scriptures that not actually say that. You are wrong. She is wrong, in my opinion. And everyone's going to have their day with the Lord, and He sees everything. He hears all. He sees all. Wait on me, and I will come. The revenge is all mine. That's why I just don't need to take revenge. He is going to expose everyone that's been involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It's not a matter of when. Not there's reverse. What's the saying? Not if it's going to happen. When it's going to happen. Okay. So I'm not saying if, when. This is going to be all exposed, and the truth is going to come out. And that's why Turning Point, Erica Kirk, Andrew Colvat, everyone in the Senate is trying to stop this. Everyone's trying to stop this and prevent the truth to come out because, again, they want your money. They want your money. Okay? More money comes in, the establishment is doing great. And I have to say, at the end of the day, this is not a faith organization. I'm sorry. This is a Zionist organization. That's exactly what they wanted. They wanted to get rid of Charlie, which they succeed. And now they're trying to make it their own. They're trying to take away this man's legacy that he worked so hard for at the age of 18. Okay? It's just incredible. It's just incredible. And they're not calling them out on it. They're not calling them out on it. But they're calling out on other people who speaks truth. And that's the crazy, unhinged people that they are. Because people in the platform are speaking truth and trying to get to the truth, and they're not calling these people out of their bad behaviors of what they did to Charlie Kirk. It's just unreal. It's just incredible, actually. It's just incredible that they are not calling these people out. That can tell you why, you guys. Why? Because they're in on it. Not meaning in on the assassination, meaning that they're close knit, that they don't want any falling out, if that makes sense, that they in collude. You know what I mean? With with the donors, the money, and all that. That's basically where it boils down to. You know what I mean? So it's just wild to me that this is happening, and I'm glad that these internet sleuths, they exposed who the person were who texted Charlie, because obviously Erica Kirk and Andrew Corbett's not saying anything. They're not saying anything about it. You know what I mean? Not yet, actually. Then Candace Owens did this video on Thursday, and we haven't heard any response. I probably because Erica Kirk is doing that tour, make Heaven Crowded, which is just, I spoke more detail about that, you guys, and I have my opinion about this. And the video that you're going to watch is just incredible. What I have discovered about the faith organization, and the person who was in the tour with at the tour, excuse me, with Erica Kirk. And I have to say, it's very, 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 very disturbing. This last video that I'm going to share with you guys is Andrew Tate. And this video that he was, this person that interviewed him, it's Andrew Tate saying that he knows who killed Charlie Kirk. He knows the real killer. And he's saying that the Matrix is hiding the real killer. And say what you want with Andrew Tate. In my opinion, Andrew Tate is a very smart, intelligent man. He knows a lot. He knows what he's talking about, and that frightens a lot of people. You know what I mean? So in this video, he's watching what he says, because everyone is trying to attack this man, trying to kill him and his brother, trying to set him up for things that he did not do, and that's crazy. You know what I mean? And everyone has a right to their opinion, how they feel about Andrew Tate. I just know a little bit briefly about him, but there's no reason for me to hate the guy. I don't know him. You know what I mean? As long as he's not spewing, sex trafficking and hurting children and stuff like that, I can care less what he says, to be honest with you, unless he gives me a reason. But there's no reason for me to dislike this guy at all. But I heard stories about him, and I've seen him in interviews with Candace Owens and Piers Morgan and other news journalists. However, I like the way he thinks. You know what I mean? I like the way he thinks and how he thinks outside the box, and a lot of things like he says make sense. And it can't. What's the word? A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people can't stand Andrew Tate because, one, he makes sense. Two, he makes a lot of money, and they don't like that. And quite honestly, he doesn't take shit from anyone. He really don't, and he doesn't fear anything but his God, which I like. And I feel like most people need to do that, not be fearful of people. They should be fearful of God and not have the love of money as well. Because at the end of the day, like I keep saying, you're not going to take money, your car, your house, none of that with you. The most important thing at the end of the day, you should care about your salvation. Where are you going? That's what you should care about. And truth, too. Truth is the most powerful thing. The truth will set you free. But some people are afraid of the truth. And that's why when you tell the truth, that's when people attack you more and more and more, because you're onto something and you tell them the truth. But when you lie and you constantly lying and you constantly like participating in things that's not right, they leave you alone. You know what I mean? They leave you alone because they want you to be in the dark. They want you to do corrupting things. You know what I mean? But when you enter the light and tell the truth, that's when they start to attack you day in and day out. But when you have God on your side and you continue telling your truth and not listen to the white noise, not pay attention to the rhetoric that people are saying, you're good. You got this. God got this at the end of the day. That's why I fear nobody. I fear no one but my God. I don't fear man. And that's what a lot of people are. They're fearful of telling the truth or coming out or exposing these people. And I understand at the same time because they have families, they have children, they don't want to disrupt their livelihood because for speaking out and telling the truth. But sometimes we all have to stand up with one another. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to they're trying to be against one another. Have you realized that? They want us to be against each other instead of like us sticking together and standing with each other, brothers and sisters. Can you imagine if all of us stand together as brothers and sisters and say, no, whether you're Christian or not, no, we're not going to allow this. No, we're not going to accept this. What the government's going to do? What they're going to do? But instead, they're trying to divide us. They're trying to divide us. They want us to hate each other. They want us to attack one another instead of like being together and fighting the common denominator, pedophiles. Getting rid of pedophiles, not accepting that the pedophiles is ruling our government. They don't want that. They want us to be divided. They want us to hate each other. And it's just not right. And it's wrong. And that's why we need to open our eyes and realize what the government is trying to do. They're trying to separate us. And we can't allow that. We can't allow that. We have to open our eyes and see what is going on in the world, what they're trying to do. But take a listen to what Andrew Tate had to say about, he knows, but he didn't specifically say the name because, he wants to, tread lightly here because people are trying to kill him. You know what I mean? But it's very, very, very interesting, his thought process with the way that he knows who killed Charlie Kirk and how he talks about Candace Owens as well. So take a listen.
Assassinated. Do you think it was because of feminism?
Let's talk as professionals here. Sorry for the pause. I'm just scanning what's going to keep me alive. So I know.
See what I'm saying? He can't even tell the truth because if he says what he wants to say, he's fearful for his life. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy to me. Fearful for his life. And I believe him too. That's just wild, you guys. Just wild.
Oh, who killed him? And the only person who is overtly giving theories as to who killed him publicly is Candace. The reason Candace is breathing is because she is a woman and because she is black. And the people in charge have thought, they've concluded, you know what? Let a black woman scream.
And that never crossed my mind because you remember last year she got a threatening letter or whatever that someone is trying to assassinate her. And I never thought about that. Now that Andrew Tate is saying that, the reason now, I guess whoever was planning Candace Owens' assassination, they realized, maybe we need to pump the brakes, you guys. Maybe we should not put a hit on Candace Owens because we just put a hit on a conservative, Charlie Kirk, in front of the world. So maybe we need to pump the brakes here because things are getting too hot. So maybe we should not publicly or try to assassinate Candace Owens. So and then he's going to explain to you, but let her just continue saying what she's saying and we're just going to let it go. We're not going to do anything because then it's just going to raise a lot of red flags, okay? Red flags. So whoever planned this, whoever tried to orchestrate the assassination of Candace Owens last year, they're saying, let's just pump the brakes because things are getting too hot and we don't need anything more on us right now. So let's just pause for a minute. And that's what I believe that probably happened because we haven't heard anything else about the threats of Candace Owens until Andrew Tate just explained to this gentleman why they're not going to kill Candace Owens. So take a listen.
Most people will, even if they listen to her, it's a black chick and we're just going to let her scream into the air and we'll just put it down to black female hysterical action. So we'll just put it down to that.
You think that's it?
Yeah. We'll get some bots on Twitter and we'll get everyone to call her crazy and we'll pretend she's hysterical and we'll push all of this narrative that she's nuts with some paid influencers. And we're going to get everyone to call her crazy, even if she's right on the fucking money, even if she gets it perfectly right. Even in one of her episodes, if she describes it perfect, we're just going to convince everyone she's nuts because she's a black chick and we can convince people that she's just hysterical. Like the Walmart ran out of fucking cocoa butter and she's mad. So let's just do that. If you're a man in a sharp suit like yours, or if I put a suit on and I sit there and I break it down in a very logical, there still is that degree of misogyny in the world where a man is taken a little bit more seriously with some things. And then if you get it directly on the money with a different tone and they can't really call you crazy, if you don't give them the second life, if you don't give them an easy layup, well, then you pay the price.
So he's right. I agree with Andrew Tate 100%. I agree exactly what he said, and it makes sense now. It absolutely makes sense. So think about it. When I was on TikTok, every influencer said exactly the same thing. It was like scripted to the T about Candace Owens, Candace Owens, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Tucker Carlson. It was just scripted. So obviously they were bought, which I said, and Candace Owens mentioned it as well. And then make it seem like she's the crazy one. She's a lunatic. She has no idea what she's talking about. It's just all made up and fabricated, but she kept producing receipts after receipts after receipts, text messages after text messages after text messages, and you trying to convince the public that she is lying. Now, with that being said, does she get it wrong sometimes? Yes. And she clearly admits that, but then she corrects herself, just like anybody who reports anything. There's mistakes are going to happen along the way. As long as you correct yourself, you own up to it, and you move on. Any investigation, that's just common sense. Any investigation, you're going to mess up, things are going to happen, but then you figure it out, okay? But everything that they tried in a book to slam, what the word I'm trying to say, defame her, call her every name in the book, nothing's working. And I keep saying that to you guys, nothing's working. So you might as well cut your losses and just let the woman finish her investigation of Charlie Kirk's murder and let her expose the corruption, okay? The fraudulent people that's been taking your money, okay? Your money. Let her. But they're too afraid because she's getting close. And I keep saying, we're going to know the truth this year. We're going to know. They think they don't know, but they have no idea. Okay? That's the thing. They think they know, but they don't know. Okay? And I'm referring to the unhinged, the corruption. They think they know, they don't know that the truth is coming. Okay? The truth is coming, and they can't stop it. There's nothing that they can do to stop the truth. Period. Okay? So they need to buckle up, okay, and let God do his work, meaning let God do what he needs to do with Candace, because God is all over this, okay? God has had his hands on Candace and on other people who's trying to get to the truth of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That's all we care about. We don't care about anything else. I sure don't care about anything else. I want the truth. So this will never, ever happen again to any public figure. Any public figure. Because it shouldn't even happen to Charlie Kirk in the first place. And I just feel like this all was just planned, set up from the get-go. That's what it seems like to me. By piecing everything together, what Candace Owens is talking about, this was planned from the beginning to take over Charlie Kirk's organization, to get rid of him, and then have Erica Kirk be CEO, and have these donors donate the organization. They made $250 million. $250 million, you guys, and they fired their staff. Like 15 or 40 of them. Fire them. Okay? That they put their blood, sweat, and tears, working 80, 90 hours a week, you guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because they're paranoid. Because they're so paranoid, they don't know who to trust. They don't know who they're speaking to, if it's Candace Owens or someone else. That's how paranoid they are. And instead of them being truthful and honest and say, hey, I'm just being paranoid, I'm just going to let a few people let you go. But no, they making all this excuse from left and right. It's just ridiculous. And it makes me to believe, and this is my opinion, that it could be possible that Erica Kirk was a plant. That this was all set up and staged for her to get close to Charlie by Tyler Bauer. And that's the guy that introduced her to Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? I didn't believe it at first because a lot of people were talking about it. But then when I'm putting everything together and watching her old videos and the way she speaks and then the lies that she keeps telling, it clearly makes me to believe that maybe this woman was a plant. Maybe she was doing this all along. Maybe she didn't really love Charlie. I don't know. I have no idea. None of it makes sense of the behavior that she's been doing for the last couple months. You know what I mean? None of it makes sense. Her behavior don't make sense. The way she does things doesn't make sense. The person that she invited at Make Heaven Crowded tour, she invited this alleged Laurie, this pedophile who is allegedly being sued from a Romanian just mega church and just Romanian children, which Erica Kirk is a founder of Romanian Angels. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a coincidence. And I don't go by coincidence. Like, none of it makes sense. I'm like, how can you invite someone to your tour who's being sued for child abuse and sex trafficking? Even though it's all allegedly, I wouldn't want that in my space. I wouldn't want that when I'm doing tour, and especially it's a Christian faith tour. You get what I'm saying? So it makes me to believe, I don't know, maybe Erica's being brainwashed. Maybe she's, I don't know, maybe, I don't know what it is, but half the things that she is doing doesn't make no freaking sense as a CEO. It really don't, because I believe if Charlie Kirk was alive, he wouldn't do none of this stuff. He wouldn't allow it, in my opinion. The things that Erica is doing, one, it's not Christ-like. Two, I believe that someone's speaking in her ears or she's being programmed. Like that book Chaos with Charles Manson and among all these other serial killers. I believe she's probably being brainwashed, because what person in their right mind, a mother, will have someone who's alleged to have sex with underage children and sex traffic them in your faith tour? Laurie, look it up, and I spoke about this too as well this week. It's definitely look into it. I spoke about it more in detail about that and about the about the tour that Erica Kirk did this past week. What else I want to tell you guys, because I haven't been here live for so long, and it feels like I just want to get everything out. But I know I've done so much video content that I have posted throughout this week, so definitely check it out. And God forbid, if I get another strike. Obviously, if I get another strike, YouTube is going to remove my remove me from YouTube. You can definitely also check me on Rumble. It's another platform. It's not big as YouTube, but Rumble is a more free speech that you can say and talk about certain things like Israel and among other things, that they won't ban you, they won't strike you, they won't do none of that, because it's more of a free speech outlet, and it's called Rumble. So definitely check me out there too. I'm also going to do live on Rumble as well as along with YouTube as well. So I'm just doing much video content as possible. I hope and pray that YouTube do not strike me again, because that second strike was just uncalled for. I didn't do anything wrong. I just posted a video of Ted Pike just discussing about Israel. That's it, you guys, discussing about Israel and Israeli government. If you look at all my past videos, it doesn't dispute any hate speech, even though there's no such thing as hate speech, any hatred among anyone, nothing like that to the sort, because I condemn that. I don't spew hate. I don't spew violence or none of that stuff. What I talk about is truth and pop culture and current events that's happening, and speak my mind and give you my opinions and my thoughts about it. That's all I do. I'm all for truth. I'm not all for all this white noise nonsense. That's not what I'm here for. This is not why I do YouTube on this platform or Rumble or whatever. I like to speak the truth about things. And if I do get it wrong, I want to be corrected, and I will correct myself as well. You know what I mean? There's no prideful here on this platform. This is God's platform at the end of the day. He is the one that's given me the opportunity to do this, because never in a million years you would ever see me do this, ever. If you would have told me, Cheryl, you'd be doing this live on YouTube and Rumble and that, I'm like, you're crazy. You're crazy. But God is giving me the strength and giving me the courage to do this each and every day. And I love doing this because it just give me more confidence to, to talk to you guys and express how I feel, my opinions, my thought process, and how I deal with things and how things are going on in this world. And that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And it seems like, YouTube is trying to stop me from my free speech. Okay. This AI system. By the way, there's no one, whoever's working in the background, it's not there's like any human beings working in the background. It's AI system. So whoever's in charge of the AI system, maybe you need to update AI because it seemed like they have a low IQ of a pretzel. Just saying. But anyway, you guys, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for joining me live. I really miss everyone, and I'm glad that I'm back. And I will see you tomorrow on the next live. Take care. God bless. And I will see you guys on